Will an area of disturbed weather near the Bahamas become our next tropical depression? Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. Great to see you on this Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. Coming up in this video, we have a new area of interest from the National Hurricane Center. We'll talk about how that area in yellow near the Bahamas could be developing over the next couple of days. We've had some pretty hefty storms through portions of the greater Antilles. We'll talk about that, and a few tropical waves in the Atlantic to monitor as well. As we get this video started, love to hear from you as always. Drop it in the comments section below where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like. If you have a specific question about the forecast, you can also drop it in the comments as well. Okay, we'll start off with our friends of the Bahamas, and first things first, a very happy Independence Day to our friends there. Weather-wise, we're seeing some showers and storms drifting from north to south on the south end of, yet again, that area of interest for us here. So I'll switch over to our radar system, our composite radar. Take a look at those storms. Pretty active today from Walker's Key through Grand Bahama. Pretty good thunderstorms developing there, drifting south right over the Abaco area, so places like Freeport and Lucaya and High Rock on over towards Marsh Harbor. And these will continue to work their way off and develop over Andros and New Providence and Eleuthera. Might get as far as Cat Island. I'm not sure it's going to hit Exuma, but it'll be close. Certainly more concentrated the farther north that you go. And again, heavy rain, frequent lightning with these storms. When I show you this expanded view, you can see again all the storm activity here kind of on the western side of where this X is. And we're going to delve deep into how this is going to play out in this area the next couple days, but certainly is going to be some active weather, especially for the Northwest Bahamas and the east coast of Florida. Back over to the broad perspective, again, some really healthy storms in portions of the greater Antilles. We'll start off with my friends in Jamaica. Obviously, our thoughts are still with all of our friends there as the recovery efforts from Beryl continue. Again, let us know how you're doing. Few storms, kind of the interior western portions of the island this afternoon, kind of South James, St. James, northern St. Elizabeth, the eastern sides of Hanover and Westmoreland near Cambridge. Not a lot, mainly dry for today, just a couple of isolated storms. Better rain chances here starting tomorrow, but not exceptionally high over the next few days. Mainly dry over the Cayman Islands for today. We've had a few storms over Cuba, mainly on the western tip and on the eastern tip, with the central part of the island mainly being dry. Trying to get a few storms over the Turks and Caicos, but not a lot of activity. But it is a whole different story over Hispaniola. These storms are going gangbusters over the Dominican Republic and portions of Haiti. Look at all of the storms there. It's been really some unbelievable stuff. Look at all of the lightning as well. We had well over 100 lightning strikes in just a 15-minute time frame just a little bit ago. So Bajarona on over towards Santo Domingo. Little bit too far to the west for Punta Cana, but close. La Romana in on the action. Santiago de los Caballeros and Puerto Plata, Samana, and then even on over towards Port-au-Prince. Look, there's a real good chance you're going to get some rain and some storms. Heavy enough, this could lead to some localized flash flooding. So do be aware of that. There is a tropical wave axis right over Hispaniola. Now, it's been moving from east to west throughout the day. So earlier today, it was Puerto Rico that had all the heavy storms. Look at that big blow-up of storms in the center on the western side of the island, Arecibo, Aguadilla, Mayaguez, and over towards Ponce. It's beginning to quiet down across the island at the hour. And we never had a lot of rain today over the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, just a couple of isolated showers and storms there. Really interesting feature here as I zoom out a little bit. This is an upper level low, and it has been feeding some energy into that tropical wave, which is why the storms really went gangbusters on this Wednesday afternoon. That low is going to be sitting there, but that moisture axis is going to be moving off towards the west, so that influence is not going to be as predominant here over the next few days. Going to switch over to the visible satellite imagery here for our friends in the Lesser Antilles. Just a little bit better view of the passing clouds here with an isolated shower from Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, Barbuda, and Antigua. Not a lot of rain for today, just a couple of lightning strikes, but at least the opportunity has been there. And it's a really easy way to tell here when I bring on the temperatures and then the feels like numbers. When you see these just bottom off, that's when you know you had some rain in your area. Now they're kind of cycling up here, but again, when you're not getting the rain, feels like numbers well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pushing, again, upper 30s. Celsius. When you get to 110, that's when you've hit 43 degrees Celsius. Now, we've had a little bit more rain over places like Dominica for today, especially the south side. You can see that temperature drop through the afternoon hours. Martinique with some passing showers. Same thing for our friends in St. Lucia. Watch those temperatures just nosedive. So good rain. Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia in spots, not everyone, but some spots. Barbados has been mainly dry. Same thing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago. Pretty darn hot there at Port of Spain. Feels like temperature well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We've had a few showers over Nueva Esparta for today. You can see that temperature again plummet down as those have pushed over the coastal areas of Venezuela. A few showers over Bon Air, but again, it's been few and far between, with Aruba and Curacao mainly being dry. On over towards our friends in Central America, a couple of storms, southern sides of Quintana Roo. We've had a few isolated storms over portions of coastal Belize, beginning to try and get going late on this Wednesday. Belize City on over towards Dangriga. Certainly some rain and storms for Honduras, Roatan, storms nearby. And again, they're really flaring up here late on this Wednesday. But when I show you this more expanded view, they're even heftier through portions of Honduras, but especially down towards Nicaragua. Look at all those storms getting going right now. And then even back towards Panama and Costa Rica. Generally speaking, the farther north that you go into the Yucatan, you're seeing some drier weather at the hour. So again, that's the view of what's happening now on this Wednesday. As we get into the forecast, again, friends, I always appreciate you hitting that like button for me right now. If you're not a subscriber to Meteo Mundo, you want the latest forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, you can hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends. Thanks for the ways that you found to support us here as well via our membership, the super thanks, and of course, in the description below, you can find a couple of different ways too. Okay, time to get into the forecast, and we're going to start again with this area here in the far western side of the Atlantic, just north of the Bahamas. So we're looking at this enhanced satellite imagery. Let's take a look at the visible satellite imagery as well. So I'm going to switch over to that. Just a nice perspective. Now look, the Hurricane Center only has this as a 10% chance of development. So there's a low chance that this will actually wrap up before it moves north into the United States. Okay, that's going to drift north. But over the next 24 to 48 hours, it is going to bring some pretty active weather, especially to the northwest Bahamas. Some squally weather, heavy downpours. It's going to kick up the surf and sea conditions, especially along the east coast of Florida as well. So let me switch back here. Let me dump the satellite data. We're going to go into the model data here. I'm going to bring up the HER model, which is the high resolution rapid refresh in this part of the world. It's just a real good model here. We can kind of take a look at things. I'm going to also get rid of this yellow area because again, it's just a little bit easier to see. So this is going to wrap up and develop as far as the model, not the actual storm system. Let me make sure I get rid of the lightning data as well. So let's talk about how this is going to play out. Okay. First of all, this is not going to move much over the next day or two. So showers and storms will be developing north of the Bahamas and then drifting off towards the south, which is why I mentioned Walker's Key and Grand Bahama and Abaco kind of on the front lines of seeing the stronger storms, the heavier rainfall in general. Obviously, the surf and sea conditions getting kicked up as well, especially again along the Florida East Coast. Now, eventually what's going to happen is this is going to start to pull north, and we're going to get a south wind throughout the entire Bahamas. And that will, of course, then drag moisture all the way from the southeast Bahamas north. So all areas of the Bahamas kind of beginning, let's say late on Friday, early on Saturday, to see a better chance for some rain kind of coming in as this system again pulls away. So broad perspective, one more time, just kind of showing you again, not a lot of potential development, but active weather in this area, kind of regardless, almost near tropical depression situation developing with the heavy rain and the gusty winds. Speaking of the winds, I'll switch on over to the wind gust product right now, because again, you know, Hurricane Center only has it as a 10% chance, right? So we're not talking about, you know, any tracks or anything like that, but it's still going to bring some wind gusts that are going to be well over 30 miles an hour. And obviously, for any mariners in this area, you're going to pay attention to that. And again, certainly some squally conditions kind of overall. Is there going to be at least a little mid-level twist to this? You can see that trying to have a little bit of a twist up, but there's some drier air kind of entrained in. Nothing really ever fully tries to get going here. Obviously, it's an area I'll keep a very close eye at. It's not a non-zero chance that this goes, but eventually it's going to pull up towards the north. But again, rainfall totals here will be very area dependent, but some of them could be on the heftier side. So let's talk about the broad potential impacts of this tropical disturbance. And for the northwest Bahamas and the east coast of Florida, it's going to be squally weather with some heavy downpours, some frequent lightning. Winds will be 20 to 30 miles an hour at times, could be even a little bit gustier, rough seas and high surf. Now at this point in time, there's no small craft advisories, no small craft cautions. Those will probably go up tomorrow, and I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll report back to you here on our Thursday as to what's going to be happening. Let's get back over to the broad perspective here and talk about a few things. First thing is I want to switch back over to our satellite imagery, because here are the next tropical waves to impact our area. First one here in the main development region of the Atlantic. No real signs of actual development, but this one is going to be a pretty good rainmaker, especially for the Lesser Antilles and portions of the Greater Antilles. And again, look, it's July. We shouldn't be looking at the west coast of Africa for tropical waves coming out with this vigor. But here you go, another very robust tropical wave about ready to emerge off of the West African coast. Now, we've talked about how there is a very good layer of Saharan dust. You'll note all of the red that's in play, and some of that Saharan dust is over the Lesser Antilles at the hour as well. So this is going to try and impede any tropical development. It's always a fight. Again, it's not zero, it's not 100% ever here, but the Saharan dust does come into play to try and limit the potential of tropical development. So right now, we're not expecting anything, at least out of the first wave. We're going to have to closely monitor that second one. Let's get started here. I'm going to loop up the GFS model here, and we're going to take a look, first of all, at the rain down in the Windward Islands, and then we're actually going to look at the NAM model, because I think the NAM model overall has a little bit healthier, better, hold or grip on what this wave is going to do. But again, the GFS doesn't make it this far south and east, but this is a pretty good representation. Again, as we get through Friday, here comes our tropical wave. There's going to be good rain chances for places like Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Barbados, towards Nueva Esparta, and eventually even on over towards the ABC Islands as well. Yes, my friends in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, you're going to have at least the opportunity for a couple of showers kind of swinging into your area. Again, the NAM shows a little bit more rain, and I'll show you that coming up. But kind of a maximum here of rain as we get through Friday and early on Saturday. There is going to be some quick progression with this next wave. It's not going to be sitting in any one area for very long. So now I'm going to switch over to the NAM, because again, for the rest of our area, I think it just has a little bit better handle overall with what this wave is going to end up doing. So let me pull out that timeline here. We'll go out again the 5 days and loop this up. So it's clear to see this next axis moving in. We'll dry out a bit for later tonight, tomorrow, and then early on Friday for places like Puerto Rico and Hispaniola and the Leeward Islands. But right back into it here with more moisture just moving right back in. So again, healthy rainfall totals for places like St. Lucia and Martinique and Dominica and Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, Saba. Same time frame that I just mentioned here. Again, today is the 10th. As we get into Thursday, a few showers are possible, but it's really going to be as we get into our Friday here and then into our Saturday. You can see those passing showers even into early on Sunday. And there again will be a good movement from east to west. We're going to have about a 24, 36-hour maximum for rain in your area. Downpours, some gusty winds. The trade winds will be kicked up with this as well. So pretty strong easterlies will be coming along for the ride, and that will, again, promote the fast movement of this tropical wave. Now, I mentioned Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, again, on the NAM model a little bit later, but as we get into, let's say, early Saturday and Sunday, at least the opportunity for some of these showers to blow through the area. Again, quick, heavy downpours, but we'll take what we can get. So rain chances again improving late into the week, especially early into the weekend for San Juan and Santo Domingo. You get as far west as Jamaica, it gets a little bit more questionable just how much of this moisture and the quality left over will be moving in. But more than likely, especially beginning Saturday, but especially Sunday and Monday, I'll have a higher rain chance in for Puerto Rico and Cuba and the Cayman Islands. And again, you can see here the early part of the NAM and that moisture lifting up to the north. All right, now we'll dry out eventually here in the central and the southeast Bahamas, but you can clearly see that curlicue, all the heavy rain for the northwest Bahamas, and then that system pulls up towards the Carolinas with a few passing showers for that area with the next tropical system. Again, just a tropical wave at this point in time, not expecting it to develop. For our friends in the Yucatan and Central America, still have that Central American gyre in general, just kind of a broad area of spin. So again, this is another area where the rain chances just remain high. Now, especially true Honduras south, Nicaragua, down towards Costa Rica and Panama. You get into Guatemala and Belize and the Yucatan again. It's fighting just a little bit drier air here. So more like passing showers for Belize City and even a little bit drier for Cancun. But obviously Cancun was an area has had a lot of rain lately, especially just before Beryl and as Beryl went through. So getting a little bit drier weather in that area, not the worst thing. Let's break down that rain chance for you island by island. For the northwest Bahamas, again, really hefty rain chances tomorrow and Friday. It will tail off beginning on Saturday if this does push up to the north. But obviously nothing has developed, so Saturday is a little bit more questionable right now, but I do think it's going to be drying out. Now, the central and the southeast Bahamas won't have the rain maximum that the northwest Bahamas will have, but that influence of the next tropical wave will be felt greater the farther south that you go. So they're going to hold on to a 40% chance on Saturday. Turks and Caicos, even more rain with the next tropical wave. Again, a maximum on Saturday. Cuba stays with relatively healthy rain chances the next few afternoons. Belize City, a 40% chance for showers over the next 3 days. Cancun and Cozumel, again, lower rain chances, but still some scattered showers. Jamaica, again, I don't expect a lot of rain tomorrow and Friday, okay? Or excuse me, for today, no, tomorrow and Friday. Sorry, I don't know why I thought today was Thursday for like literally a half second, but I did. Tomorrow and Friday, then Saturday, a 40% chance. But again, I think your rain chance goes up even a little bit higher on Sunday. Now, the Dominican Republic will still have a decent chance tomorrow. You'll dry out on Friday early, and then beginning on Saturday as the next wave moves in, your rain chances go back up. Puerto Rico, it's about the same situation. Again, drier late Thursday, Friday. Rain chances really maximize on Saturday. U.S. and British Virgin Islands will see that as well. Again, there'll be some wind associated with these storms with that fast-moving wave. Now, Bermuda, not a lot of action over the next few days. Anguilla, we'll get a little bit more rain Friday compared to areas off towards the west, and then stay at a 50% chance on Saturday. St. Martin, again, kind of bobbles up and down, but a maximum on Saturday. Antigua and Barbuda will actually start to see more rain coming in late Friday and then tails off a little bit faster on Saturday. That's what we'll see in places like Dominica and St. Lucia as well. So kind of a maximum here on Friday. Barbados included on that. Few showers tomorrow in Trinidad and Tobago, but again, fast-moving rain on Friday, 60% chance. Few leftover showers on Saturday. Nueva Esparta, we'll see some decent rain chances, and it's good to see the ABC Islands climb back up to that 40% chance for showers for Saturday. So that's what it looks like, friends. Of course, you can follow us across all of our social media. Have really gained some traction on TikTok lately. We do some exclusive content there. So if you'd like to find us on TikTok, it's Meteo Mundo. You can find us on Instagram as well, X and Facebook. You want to send me a picture or video, and I really appreciate all those who did during the coverage of Beryl. It's myMediaMundo@gmail.com. Obviously, friends, I'll keep a very close eye on that area on the northern side of the Bahamas and those tropical waves in the Atlantic. I'll have all the newest information for you tomorrow, and I'll see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.